Did you race in the Criterion? Who did? Who raced? How'd you do? Okay.
Second place. Awesome. I won the sprint lap and I came in second. That close to coming in first. It sucked, dude. I almost beat the guy that I wanted to beat. There's like this 15-year-old girl keeps beating me like over and over. And I fucking smoked her the other day. It was awesome.
15-year-old girl.
Dude, I know. She's a badass though. She's so hardcore.
And I'm just kind of chilling there, and Lance Armstrong comes up to me and he wants a ride. He wants a pedicab ride. He starts getting into my cab. He's got like 5 or 6 people in his entourage. And then one of the people in the entourage says, hey, well, maybe Lance should be riding the bike. And I'm like, well, shit, this guy knows a thing or two about riding a bike. Didn't bother me. So Lance gets into my bike. He's got like 5 people in the cab, and this other pedicabber guy named Alex gets the rest of the people into his cab, and they start racing over to the ranch, which is about, I don't know, 8 blocks away. So there's no room for me in my cab, so I end up just chasing after Lance, who's driving my cab, riding my bike with like 5 people in there, and I'm pushing his ass uphill because between you and me, Lance can't take the hills. So yeah, I got to push Lance uphill with like 5 people in the cab while my buddy Alex kicked his ass at a pedicab race.
Alex, is that how it happened? Blow by blow?
So. Yeah.
Okay, John was pushing those guys.
John was pushing them up Lavaca Street. From Fort to Lavaca.
Lance Armstrong, the world champion.
Yeah.
It's a 7-time Tour de France. That Lance Armstrong.
I'm going to the Hilton. It's around 8 o'clock. It's still daylight outside. I'm going to the Hilton to use the bathroom. It's the only place worthy of downtown using the bathroom. And right outside in the front, toupee kind of halfway on, pretty funny, but Burt Reynolds flags me down. Comes up to me, he's like, hey Chief, let's go to Star Bar. You know where that's at? I was like, sure, I'll get you there. So it's about like, a 13-block journey from where we were at. So I take 4th Street, and around 4th and San Jacinto about, man, I forgot this pedicabber's name, but he doesn't pedicab anymore. But he rode a trailer. And he's like, at least 20 feet in front. He taps me on the back, he's like, hey boss, check this out. Jumps out at the other pedicabber, trying to jump into his cab, totally fucking misses. Pops his knee, rolls into oncoming traffic. And I like stop, and I'm like freaked out as fucking could be. Gets up, laughing his ass off. And even the other dude was just like, and I was like, yeah. And hands me a fucking $50 bill, laughing, walks right off, and I was like, dude, I could still get you there. He's like, hey, no, I'm good, thank you.
Hey, did his toupee fall off?
No, it actually stayed on better than it was at the thing. It's like if he was holding it as if he
I gotta get the name of that brand of toupee. You guys need a ride? You need a ride?
And all of a sudden, like a bunch of guys get outside of Spiro's, they're yelling at each other in the middle of the street with all the traffic going. Well, I see a flash of like metal, like people pulling out metal, not just one guy, but like the whole crowd practically. They run over like back onto the sidewalk, and you see like a gun go off. You see a flash, and I hear like this big bang, maybe only one shot, and I see this guy, blood splatter out of his head. So I got the fuck out of there, because I was stuck in traffic with 2 girls that were screaming, and like, what the fuck did we just see? I took them to their car and then swung back around and talked to the cops, and yeah, saw the guy just on the floor with blood, on the ground with blood everywhere.
After getting hit in the pedicab, a few weeks later, the first time I went back out on my bike, I ran into a taxi. Oh, and actually, like 2 weeks before I got hit on the pedicab, a nun ran into me in a minivan. I was on a big group ride, and I was coming down Stokes Garage on 12th Street, and T-boned a police car and shattered the windshield in my face. And then even after that, I was at a concert, I was at Go-Go Bordello, came out, got a slice of pizza, and this guy was about to get his ass kicked by these like 3 or 4 guys, and I was trying to keep him from getting his ass kicked, and then he decided he wanted to fight me, so I was beating him up, and he tore one of my plugs out and tore my earlobe loose, and bit my leg. I saw a scar on my leg.
these two girls, one of them was sober, one of them was very drunk. So we're going along, drunk girl is just running her mouth, I don't even know what she's talking about. And I hear a little scuffle, next thing I know, sober girl is flying in front of the cab, like face plant all the way, sliding across the asphalt because I was moving. And I turn around and I look and drunk girl's like falling over the side of the cab. And I'm like, what happened? And the sober girl's like, she pushed me out. And I'm like, holy shit. So I jump off my cab and I run over and I help her up. And I'm like, are you okay? And I'm checking her, her elbows and her knees and her face and anything that would have, skidded across the asphalt. And finally I go back and help drunk girl. And then it was like another half hour of making sure they were okay, making sure they got where they needed to go safely. Drunk girl needed to put something in her body because she was like on the verge of passing out. She didn't even know her name. It was pretty nuts. And amazingly, she skidded like 4 feet across the asphalt face first and she didn't have a scratch on her.
No, my ride was the best ride. I will take this ride anytime, anywhere, anytime. You fit 4 people here.
It's amazing, isn't
That's
it?
great. That's great. You got strong legs. Strong legs. Oh, look at those calves. I'm getting a bite. Look at those calves. Oh my God. Are you okay, dude?
He backed up into you, dude.
Kick his ass, I think. Get up there.
3 guys, and one of them takes a swing at me, and I dodge him, and then his buddy grabs me from behind. One of the 3 guys grabs me from behind, and he, tries to hold me while the other guy takes a punch. So the guy gets back, and he's like ready to take a swing, and I just dropped all my weight, and the other guy gets hit in the face.
No way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then so again, the same thing. I stand back up, the guy's still holding me, and I'm just like waiting until the dude swings. He takes another shot and I drop, and he hits the guy in the face again.
Fucking 3 Stooges, man.
I forgot to tell the one part. The first part is that one of the 3 guys grabbed my shirt.
Hang on, Chief. You guys need a ride. It's fun. Who wants a ride? Give me your best pedicab story, okay?
All right, I was going down 6th Street with these 4 guys, 2 guys on the bottom, 2 guys sitting on their laps, and we were going down, and the whole time they were like, hey pussy, hey faggot, you're a faggot. Look at you, you're a pussy. And so we're going down the hill, and there's this guy, and he's like balding, and he's with this really beautiful woman, and they're like, hey Baldy, you should get with a different woman. You don't deserve her. You're bald. You're a faggot. And then all of a sudden the light turns red, and I'm just like, and so they're yelling at other people while we're at the red light. And the guy walks up right behind him, and he's just like, boom, right in the back of the dude's head. And he's like, who's a faggot now?
This guy that looked like a total hick, man, just like, country hick. His pants all tight and everything. He's like, hey man, give me a ride to my truck. I was like, man, where's your truck? I don't know. And I'm just like, man, it just doesn't work. So he gets in, he's like, hey man, you got some weed? And I was just like, what? He's like, come on man, I know you got some weed in those saddlebags. I was just like, no man. I was like, fuck no, I don't have any weed. He's like, no man, I know you do. And I was just like, no, I'm sorry man. He's like, was that what you wanted? And I was like, I'll drop you off. No. Hey man, you got any crack? I was just like, what? Like, yeah, man, you got some crack. I was like, I don't have any crack, man.